Southwest School of Fly Fishing Virtual Fly Fishing Academy, your #1 resource for fly fishing education and knowledge.
Malad River is located in the Hagerman area, and if you're driving east from Boise, like you're going to Mountain Home, you go through Mountain Home, you go through Smiths Ferry, and then at Bliss, Idaho, which is about 20-25 minutes from Mountain Home, and you exit and take the Highway 30 exit. It's 8 minutes from the exit to the Malad River Gorge, and that's the Malad River, and that's the river that we're going to be talking about today, and that's a river that you should be fly fishing all year. It's full of trout, it's full of rainbow trout, it's easy to get there. It's a short river. The Malad River is one of the short, if not the shortest rivers in the world. It is born from the Snake River aquifer. That water just pops out of the ground in river form and just flows to the Snake River. And the sections that in the video that we're fly fishing are on that Highway 30, and we're either south of Highway 30 or north of Highway 30, and we're probably only a couple minutes drive each direction. The type of river that you're fishing, it can be summed up as a conglomeration of spring water, tailwater river, freestone river. It's all mixed up underground, and 200 years later it pops back up, and here we have the Malad River. So there's really, from our perspective and your knowledge, there's two really major sections of the river that we want to touch on today, and these are the sections that are in the video. There's the upper section and the lower section. Unfortunately, this year we couldn't get to the upper section because they're doing so much construction work, and they wouldn't let us go in our vehicles past that. So let's talk about that upper section first. And really, where Todd and I were, as you saw on the video, is we were really working from the Idaho Power Dam down. And while I was at the Idaho Power Dam, I mean, it was just blue winged olives everywhere. It was just a matter of putting a blue winged olive and throwing it on the water. And that's the way it is that whole length of the river. I mean, you can catch fish in almost every single pocket when everything is right. What I mean by everything is right is the water level is low enough. I mean, we don't tell Idaho Power how much water they can take out and put out. All it takes is a little bit of a thunderstorm somewhere, and you got a raging river coming through there. But when all conditions are right, and you can find this on USGS, the great weather, conditions are right, water levels are right, you can catch fish on every single hole you stop at. What makes the Malad River super good for us, certainly during this visit, was it was during a blue winged olive hatch, and that's really the dominant aquatic insect on that river is the blue winged olive. It gets an incredible blue winged olive hatch in the spring, and an incredible blue winged olive hatch in the fall, and the difference between the two hatches is sizes. In the spring it's a size 18, and in the fall it's a size 20, even down to a size 22. And you have to be really size specific in order to catch these fish. However, I can tell you from my own experience that it doesn't matter what kind of fly you use, as long as it's small. As long as it's small and floaty, you're going to catch fish. If I had to say the one dominant fly on there that works really well every time is a soft tackle. Just floated there in the surface film, just like you would an emerger. That does really well. In the evenings, there's a caddis hatch where, God, it's just difficult not to catch fish. So from an entomological standpoint on that river, blue winged olives and caddis flies in the emerger forms and dry flies work really well there. Nymphing, you can nymph it, you can streamer fish it, but the soft tackles seems to be the one fly that crosses both, and you can use that really well. Sometimes I'll put a dry fly on and drop it with a soft tackle, and I'll do that. But even though I say that it's not necessary that you use a blue winged olive, you can use an annihilator or any of your favorite little dry flies as long as it's small. During these hatches, when it does happen, and it happens frequently there, if you have the right size blueing olive, you're going to be catching a lot of trout. So from the dam downriver, you're leaving the road, and the farther you go down the canyon, the deeper the canyon gets, and you have to turn around and walk back out that canyon to get back to your road. That's the upper section. The upper section, which we weren't allowed to show you, is that you just drive over the hill there and you get about 300 yards of road and river, and we have not been able to access that this year at all. But the lower section from Highway 30 down, that's really easy access. The road just follows all the way down to the Snake River. And I know guys this year that were fishing where the Malad River actually goes into the Snake River, and the fish are rising all out there, and you can catch them that way. As far as strategies goes, there's really no unique strategy here. These fish don't spook easily. It's a lot of moving pocket water, just this rolling mass of water coming down there. And when you get these stretches on the lower section, when you get these sections of, it's boulder strewn, and every once in a while you get a long little tail out or a little turn, and that's when the fish really pack in there. Interesting thing is you get a small migration of rainbow trout that will come up from the Snake River in the fall, and you get a huge migration of rainbows that will spawn up there in the spring, starting in March. So the neat thing about the Malad River is I can fish it year round. It's going to have a blue-winged olive hatch all the way into winter. The only thing that's going to keep me from fishing the Malad River is the weather, just like any other river. Time-wise, it's about an hour and 30 minutes between Boise and Hagerman. So you're looking about that hour and a half mark to get to the Malad. A lot of amenities there. I mean, Hagerman, from the Malad River, Hagerman's just a few miles down the road. There's restaurants, stores, and such. There's places to picnic there. There's state parks, a wildlife management area, Idaho Wildlife Management area is there. Lots of things to do there, and places to hang out. So my suggestion is that if you're going to the Malad River, make sure that you're using small dry flies. And what I mean by small dry flies, probably in that 16 to 18 during the regular time of the year. Keep a really close eye on the river flows. You can get that through USGS Idaho River Flows. If you've never fished the Malad, but you're used to fishing pocket water, you'll find it fun to fish. Some guys go there and say, I had a wonderful time, I love fishing there, I'm going to go back again. I have guys that go down there, oh, it's too rugged. It's too this, it's too that. Well, you know, it's like that in any river. But if you don't like the Malad, then move on down to something else in Hagerman Valley. But I view the Malad River as one of the gems in the gem state. So enjoy the video. When it's over, if you have any questions, give me a call here at shop. You can email me. You get online to Northwest School of Fly Fishing, nwschoolofflyfishing.com. You can contact me there through the contact. And you can follow me on Facebook. All those things are available to you. I would be more than happy to talk to you about the Malad River. It's certainly one of my favorite rivers to fly fish during the season. I'm usually down there a good 5, 6, 7 times a year. And I can give you directions on how to get there, where to stay, what other activities that you can do while you're down there. There's hot springs, there's golf courses, there's a lot of neat places down there. But more than anything else, when I go down there, I'm usually going down there for the Malad River. Okay, enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the river.
All right, we're here on the Malad, and we're not too far from the Snake River in this particular section. This is why I love the Malad River. I can't tell you how many times I have fished this section of the Malad River. I've caught hundreds of trout in here, and this is the classic pocket water that we're looking for. It's easy. I'm not even wearing waders. I wouldn't even be wearing waders in this section. But if you look right behind me, there's a nice little run. It begins everything right there. Follow the tail out through it, right into that pocket right there. And that's where I'm really fishing. as it flows through there, it breaks into two pockets. One right in front of me and that one right in there. From there, they end up right there in one general pocket. As I'm standing here right now, I've counted over 25 trout rising right in that pocket. There's one that just went off. Since I've been talking to you, I've seen 4 fish rise right there. What does that tell you? It tells you if you're not fishing a dry fly, you should be. And this is in the fall, so when I do fly fish this section here, and I will, I'm going to be fishing something really small. And what I've seen in the short period I've been here, I've seen size 20 blue-winged olives, I've seen size 16 caddis, and I've seen midges, all in the same water. So that's kind of cluing me in on what I want to do here. So I can really start working a tail out behind me. I can work right through here in the pocket water. And between that tail out and this bridge, I'll have over 25 fish caught. Like it normally is, you get one and that's it. Well, this is a good pocket here. I've already caught one out of here. Nice sized fish, quite large for the Malad River. And you can see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring it right at the top there and float that fly right through there, all the way through the run. And roll cast it back out, pick it up, try it again. I'm having to dry cast my fly dry. So if you're wondering why I'm making so many casts, it's because I got to get that fly dry on the water so I can see it. I actually can see it. It's a little size 20 blue-winged olive with a little white wing to it. And I can actually see that floating on the water. And that's what I'm getting. So far, right in this one pocket, I've managed to catch one and miss one. And we got to tell two rivers here. The river you saw me fishing and I talked to you about earlier, that particular almost perfect, right around 180 cubic feet. The river you see in front of you now is really, really high. And don't let that scare you. We are now, instead of turning right, go down the river, we crossed the highway and now we've turned left off the highway and headed up the river. What we see is really a tale of two rivers here. But if you look beyond me, you're going to see exactly what's happening here. This river is actually turning, and the bulk of this water is going down that curtain there, canal there, and that's giving us that river that we saw earlier. So when you get confused with water levels, a lot of folks will come to this section of the river first and say to me, I can't fish it. Just too much water, and then they leave. So really, the trick really is, instead of coming up, go downriver to the Snake River, see what the water's like there. And that's going to allow you a pretty good indication of the whole section of the river you can fish. There is one other shot we want to show you, and that's what the water looks like below this diversion dam. Okay, Todd and I have walked about 60, 70 yards down from just above the bridge there, and we walked to this location here, and we're now right below the diversion dam, and we're right back into that water that we want to be fishing. And this section below me here is probably one of the better fly fishing holes I've ever had on the Malad. And every time I'm over here, I always like to come down here and take a look at what's down here, because this is the kind of water I really want to fish. This particular section of the Malad River, we're right just about 50 yards above the Idaho power plant. And you can notice how the river's changed behind me a little bit. And this is really, at this time of the year, what's going on here, they're doing a lot of construction in the upper section. And we can't go any further down the road there. I can tell you, if you go over the hill, drop back down on the river, you're going about 250, 300 yards road and river. And you'll be able to see all the pockets in there, all the little pocket waters in there. And believe me, you're going to do real well there. Especially on a day like this with the whirling olives flying all over the place.
I hope you enjoyed the video. It was fun for me to make. It's an adventure down there. I love fishing that river. Certainly it should be on your destination list too. If you like casting tiny dry flies to rising trout, then the Malad River should be on your list. It's a little rugged for those folks, but it's for the most part easy to get to, easy to fly fish, a lot of things to do down there. If you have any questions, just get a hold of me here at the shop. You can get online to our website, nwschoolofflyfishing.com. There's a contact form there. You can email me, you can call me, whatever. But get a hold of me if you need some more information on the river, places to stay, things to do, other activities around there, such as golf, bass fishing, or whatever. And I'll be happy to sit down and talk with you. See you on the river.